My message is simple. As humans, we don't have to collaborate with we don't have to compete with artificial intelligence, but collaborate with it. We should see AI as a tool. Human skills like our creativity or empathy. AI don't have that. We were able to save 80% of that manual activity. We had to recommend that the other FTE should be repurposed into customer-facing activities. Don't do it until you have a strategy. We created what we call the Brizwave 6-step AI strategy and implementation guide. We begin with discovery and assessment.
Today we are diving into the essential world of responsible AI, digital transformation, and the future of work, guided by a leader who believes technology should enhance humanity, not replace it. Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the strategic insights and innovative solutions empowering Canadian entrepreneurs to navigate the age of intelligent machines. Today we are diving into the essential world of responsible AI, digital transformation, and the future of work, guided by a leader who believes technology should enhance humanity, not replace it. In an era of rapid technological change, understanding how to harness AI, maintain authenticity, and build lasting trust is paramount for growth and competitive edge. Our guest is an award winning AI strategist, CPA, and technology entrepreneur who stands at the intersection of innovation and ethics. Joining us today is Christopher Uchenwa, founder and CEO of Brizwave, a Canadian AI and digital transformation company. Christopher is the author of the Amazon #1 best-selling book AI versus Humanity: The Battle for Human Relevance, and hosts the global streamed AI versus Humanity 404 podcast. Recognized as a top 5 finalist for BMO's Black Entrepreneur of the Year, Christopher empowers businesses and individuals to lead confidently in the age of intelligent machines. So, before further ado, let's welcome the special guest. Christopher, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Firstly, a huge congratulations for this book. For all of our listeners, please go ahead. What can they expect from this? And then what inspired you to write this in the first place? Go ahead.
Okay, I tell you what. The inspiration I had for this book started on November
Mhm.
30th, 2022.
Wow, that's very specific.
It's a very special day. I will never forget it. That was the day everything changed in the world. That was the day Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, launched ChatGPT.
Hmm.
And I was at a client office and I quickly signed into the free version. I tested it. I said, wow, humans have just created a thinking machine.
Yeah.
And I got back home that day and I was a bit worried. My 9-year-old son, as at then, rushed up to me and said, Dad, how was your day? I said, yeah, it was good, but something happened. So we started talking about ChatGPT. I explained to him and everything. And I explained my fears to him that this smart machine is definitely going to take away our jobs, and including mine.
Mm.
And he thought for a moment and he said, Dad, if you said this machine is smart, that means it can help me build my games. I said, yeah. Then he said, Dad, you don't have to be scared. We just have to use it for better advantage.
Yeah.
At that point, something struck me. That began the journey and the concept for this book, AI versus Humanity. And what struck me was that he was right. As humans, we don't have to compete with artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Because there are things artificial intelligence does better than us, we can't compete with it in
Right.
terms of speed,
Yeah.
pattern recognition, all those repetitive tasks. We humans cannot compete with it. Scalability.
Yeah.
But there are things human have, human skills, natural human skills,
Yeah.
like our creativity,
Mm-hmm.
our empathy,
Right.
our connectivity, our soul and connection to our creator.
Hmm.
AI don't have that and can never have it. So in my book, I mentioned about the human AI collaboration.
That's amazing. So, what's the gist of it? Is the book telling us that it's going to be a combination of AI and human, or what is it?
So my message is simple. As humans, we don't have to collaborate with we don't have to compete with artificial intelligence, but collaborate with it so that we can get the best part of anything we want to do. We should
Right.
see AI as a tool,
Right. Not as a threat.
not as a threat.
Hmm.
Yes, there is the fear out there that AI is going to replace humans and replace our job,
Right.
but I don't totally believe that.
No, that's very well said because you also have a strong belief, Christopher, that AI is an enabler, right? Freeing humans for a higher value thinking, not the repetitive task, as you mentioned. And you have a great story that perfectly illustrates as well. So, how did your AI project that saved 1.5 roles without layoffs reinforce your beliefs in AI's potential? And how exactly can all of our entrepreneurs listening to this prepare for it better?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Um, in Brizwave Incorporation, what we do is we'll help small businesses and medium-sized businesses to implement AI the right way. And we have our 6-step AI strategy and implementation guide that we use. And in that 6 steps, we implement AI in a very ethical way and to give the best outcome and the return on investment. So we measure return on investment based on cost benefit analysis.
Yep.
So 1.5 FTE time that was saved was measured based on the cost savings. I'm going to tell you more about the project. It was a finance department of that particular business.
Okay.
And they had 2 people in that finance department doing reporting and reconciliation work that takes both of them 60 hours a week. And 60 hours a week, one FTE just full-time employee, puts in like 8 hours every day. That's 40 hours that FTE can put. Then the other FTE coming in puts in additional 20 hours. So when we implemented that artificial intelligence automation for their work, for that process and workflow, we were able to save 80% of that manual activity they were doing.
80%.
Yes, 80%. So which brought down the time to 12 hours. And because the time was reduced to 12 hours, we had to recommend that the other FTE should be repurposed into customer-facing activities where she can put in her human skills like connectivity with customers. And they did that, and it boosted their revenue growth at this time. So now the fear that AI will replace humanity is not what we're teaching. We're teaching that we can automate your system while you repurpose your employees into a more productive areas in your business, like interactions with customers. AI can't really interact with customers. I hope you know that.
No, definitely.
Have you called a customer system that AI is responding to you before?
Yes.
You really sometimes you want to speak with humans, right?
Yes, exactly. You don't get the same feel, the same connection that you feel when you're talking to an actual human, right?
Thank you.
So we're living in crazy worlds where just talking to a human is becoming such a big deal, right? So that shows the intensity of the world that we are living in.
Thank you. So that human connection is never going to go away.
Yeah, that's very well said.
Yeah.
That's a very incredibly powerful anecdote as well, Chris, because it clearly demonstrates that AI is a tool for human augmentation,
Exactly.
not job elimination in the hands of responsible leaders. That's amazing. Now, Chris, in an AI-driven world, the skills that technology cannot replicate becomes the most valuable. This leads to the next evolution of human intelligence. So go ahead and explain from a layman's perspective, how are emotional intelligence and creativity becoming a key business advantage? And all the leaders and people who are in the capacity of decision makers, how exactly can they use it to make a better automated world around themselves?
I tell you what, I will give you a story that happened in 2013
Okay.
to explain perfectly well this question about empathy creativity,
Yeah.
right? Nike, as a then, was trying to re-sign Stephen Curry, the basketballer.
Yeah.
And in the contract, they misspelled his name. They even used the slide deck that was meant for another athlete,
Okay.
that was Kevin Durant, and they didn't show any connection with him. They offered him 2.5 million annually as a den, and he turned it down because he felt disrespected. There was no connection. Then another company as a den came into the scene. A very unpopular company came into the scene, offered him 4 million, and offered him a share in their company to create his own brand. And Stephen Curry collected that contract and put his whole self into it because of that human connection, and boosted that company from a 14 billion revenue into over 28 billion revenue.
Oh my God.
And today because of that ownership and connection, you see how the company did well.
Yeah.
So what we are saying in effect is that AI is a machine, right? But there are things it lacks: the human connection, the human creativity, the ability to be intuitive. You see, Apple,
Right.
that was founded by Steve Jobs. Apple became a company that disrupted the mobile and laptop company, computer company, because Steve Jobs applied what is called the intuitive and imaginative skills of human.
Yes.
And sometimes when he was doing it, they said this guy has distorted reality, but it's not true. He was tapping into that creative part that human has. So what it means is when AI takes over all the automated process and repetitive tasks, humans will need to return back to what makes us human: our creativity, our connectivity,
Right.
and our intuition and imagination, to become the best at what we do.
Very well articulated. The next evolution of human intelligence is clearly about empathy, creativity, and intuition as the new competitive edge for businesses worldwide. Thank you so much, Christopher, for highlighting that and educating me and our listeners. All right, it's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere because we have lots to talk to Chris.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Hello and welcome back, guys. Let's continue our conversation with Chris. Now, with the rise of AI, it is also available for the bad guys out there, right? We see, we open Instagram, Facebook, or any other social media, and we see a lot of deep fakes going around. And there, the challenge of building and protecting brand trust has become more complex than ever. So, for our SMEs, uh, please go ahead and educate them. How exactly can they protect trust and authenticity amid AI driven misinformation? And how does AI governance framework ensure transparency and innovation? Go ahead.
That's a good question. In one of my episode in AI versus Humanity 404, I talked about deepfake.
Mm.
And I want to mention a scenario I gave there. This was actually what happened in 2019. A, a CEO of a subsidiary company in the UK received a call from his boss to transfer 220,000 euro to a Hungarian company.
Mm-hmm.
The voice was exactly his boss's voice. Everything was exactly same.
Yeah.
And he did the transfer only to realize that that was not his voice. It was a clone voice of his boss.
Oh my God. That's so scary.
They couldn't recover the fund. The money went. That is how powerful deepfake is. AI has a technology that is called GANs, Generative Adversarial Network, that is used to clone anything. Just as you are now, I can clone you and take your voice online.
Yeah.
That clone will act like you do. You won't, even you will say, this is me.
Mm.
So that is how powerful that technology is, right? So small businesses right now, what is going to differentiate small businesses in what they are doing is being authentic, being truthful, being honest in showcasing their brand. Because at the end of the day, humans are going to be scared because the truth, as you know it, will no longer be what you see or hear, right?
Yes.
So humans are going to be scared. So what will differentiate brands of the future that are going to disrupt the future is honesty, integrity, authenticity. And that is what I keep preaching. I see a lot of businesses coming up, especially e-commerce businesses. They spend so much in advertisement and taking photograph, but when you place an order, the item comes, it's fake. It's not what you see. I mean,
Right. Of
so
course, yeah.
these small businesses to differentiate themselves through authenticity, being honest, and being truthful to their brands.
Yeah.
In terms of, for the sake of time, in terms of governance, the way Brizwave implement artificial intelligence, we have a governance framework we make use of. The governance framework has to do with ethical implementation, transparency. There's a black box of AI where you don't know what is happening there.
Yeah.
So we try to ensure that the result AI gives you is explainable. You can explain that this is how AI arrives at this result, right? Then accountability. We want to ensure that, because if, for example, you as a company, you release an AI application and someone used that AI application and there was a problem, or maybe somebody died as a result of it or lost money, who is to be held accountable? Is it the developer that trained the AI, or is it the company that owned the AI, or is it the user that used the AI? Who is to be held accountable? So our framework ensures that the company that launched and released the AI should be held accountable because it is their responsibility to ensure ethical and transparent and accountable AI implementation. So those are the ways we implement AI, is following all this governance structure to ensure that at the end of the day, the best human uses AI to achieve the best result.
Wow, that's such a balanced and responsible answer there, Chris. Love it. Brizwave is committed to making AI accessible and transformative. And you recently launched the AI upskilling program under Biz Learning. So huge congratulations. Please go ahead and explain what can we expect from this program.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. In Brizwave, we have a platform, a learning platform where we call the Briz Learning.
Okay.
And the reason we created that platform is to help train companies, help train individuals, because the tech world sometimes becomes very, challenging for people to understand. I've been into automation and innovation and implementation of systems for over 10 years. So I understand one of the most difficult things for staff and employees is change.
Yeah.
They are used to a particular style and status quo, so it's difficult for them to change. So that is why we bring in like change management training as well. So in the Breeze Learning, we try to upskill individuals to understand that of the truth, AI is going to replace you, these tasks you are doing, not probably replace you, but you have to start thinking, how do I re-engineer myself?
Yes.
How do I upskill so that artificial intelligence doesn't replace me? I can use artificial intelligence to get better result from what I'm doing. For example, if you are doing data entry and they are paying you, you are doing data and they're paying you 50,000 every year for doing data entry, AI is going to do that thing faster, smoother, better than you.
Yeah.
If you are in customer service and they are paying you 50,000 doing that, AI is going to receive those calls. I mean, there is agentic AIs right now that can replace a whole department.
Yeah.
Right? So that is why we're bringing in this training. Like I do a lot of training for my clients and businesses, even teach them how to communicate with artificial intelligence through prompt engineering. Because that's the first step. If you don't know how to speak to this machine, you'll be getting wrong answers, or maybe very funny answers that won't give you the best of what you're looking. So that is why we created the Breeze Learning platform. And that is why I wrote my book. And that is why I also launched my platform, AI versus Humanity 442, so that to teach the layman and common man out there what artificial intelligence is all about, the opportunities around it, and how to use it as a tool to get the best result out of whatever you're doing.
Chris, this is exactly what the Canadian business ecosystem needs right now. And I'm so glad that, you're taking this initiative and doing this. I'm loving this conversation, and definitely we're going to have you one more time where we can dive into such exciting conversations. But before we let you go, Chris, if there's one piece of final advice that you have for our listeners today, something that you want them to remember about shifting their mindset about AI, what would you tell them and why?
Okay. The advice I will tell the Canadian small and medium enterprise businesses is, if you are thinking of implementing artificial intelligence, don't do it until you have a strategy. I see a lot of companies jump into AI implementing random tools, and got their fingers burnt, wasted a lot of money because there was no clarity, there was no strategy, there was no result at the end of the day for them. So that was why we created what we call the Brizwave 6-step AI strategy and implementation guide. In-house, we call it the door wheel methodology. Door wheel methodology, that in the sense that, just as the name acronym, we follow those 6 processes. We begin with discovery and assessment. We assess your business, your pain points, your challenges and understand where you truly need AI. We move over to the opportunity mapping, where we can tell you this is the business division where AI can give you the best impact to start with, right? Once we are done with that opportunity mapping, we go into what we call the readiness analysis. At the readiness analysis, we're assessing your system to know whether your technology stack, to see how ready you are to augment and integrate artificial intelligence. And that leads us to the next step, which is the implementation blueprint. At this step, we're assessing and identifying the right tools for you, the right timelines, and the metrics that will give you the best return on your investment. Then we go finally to the last phase, which is the last phase, which is the launching and return on your investment tracking. So we launch artificial intelligence for you. We train your team, and we give you the KPIs, the key performance indices that you can use to track, to know that this investment is giving me this result.
Right.
So that is my advice to every small businesses. Don't jump into artificial intelligence until you have a clarity and a purpose and a strategy for doing it.
That's such a powerful and actionable message, Chris. Really appreciate it. All right, that was Christopher from Brizwave, you guys. Don't forget to check out this book. We'll mention the link in the description below. All right, that was an insightful conversation with Christopher Uchenwa, founder and CEO at Brizwave Inc. on the philosophy of AI versus humanity, how emotional intelligence becomes the new competitive edge, the challenge of deepfake reality and brand authenticity, and practical steps for AI adoption for small businesses. To all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. Also, don't forget to visit our website, CanadianSME.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, A1 Global College, ADP, and Google for their ongoing commitment to empowering SMBs in Canada. So until next time, keep innovating and striving for success, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.